morning, and welcome to The Sun is Trying to Shine This Morning, Winnipeg. Yeah, it looks nice out there. I think it's going to be a nice day. Now, today we paint, but there is one little tiny piece of photo etch here that I forgot to glue on yesterday. It's this one right here. It's got to go, whoops, let's not lose it now. It's got to go on the top of this, like that. And, okay. When I was much younger, back in the late 50s, early 60s, something like that, there was a television program, and it was called Gomer Pyle. Jim Nabors played the part of Gomer Pyle. And one of the things that Gomer Pyle said, and I'm sure every single episode, and he became famous for it, he would say the phrase, "Surprise, surprise, surprise." Well, don't you know we got a surprise going on, because our friend Jack sent a photo of this part of our alleged oil filter, fuel filter, and it's not. It's a light. And when you see what it, when you see it in context with everything else, you realize what it's all about. And it's well, in this case, I guess it would be a red light, because they painted it red here. But I just thought that because the entire thing was painted red, that's not what it represented. But there was a red light on one engine and a green light on the other engine. And what would happen is, I guess the captain of the boat, when he would want to change speed, he would move his telegraph wherever he was, and because the engine room was so incredibly noisy, the engineer would not be able to hear this thing. But if you saw a light flash, like for instance, the people that live right across the street, they are deaf, and quite often I'll be sitting here and I will see a light flashing in their window, and at first I didn't know what that was. But then I realized, now mind you, I haven't seen it for a few years, so they must have a different system now. But it was to notify them, I guess, that either the phone was ringing, and or there was somebody at the door or something like that. Yeah, and so the light in the engine room would flash to let the engineer know, hey, you gotta pay attention here. Something has to be changed. And this light is right at the telegraph on the engine. Okay, so that's what it is. So, Vic, we were both wrong. Yeah, it is a light. So I think, I'm wondering if, I was saying I wasn't going to be using one of those micro LEDs that Martin had sent, but I'm wondering if I could take the red one, because I think one of those is red. I remember one of them didn't work. Can't remember which color it was didn't work. But anyway, I wonder if I could somehow incorporate that into this, because it is extremely small. I know I could get all fancy and try and drill it out, and I don't know. Maybe it's just beyond me, that sort of thing. I'm just not that delicate anymore. In fact, I'm not delicate at all. Yeah, it's a thought. Maybe I could get the light to somehow illuminate in that area red. I'm starting to think out loud here, and I'm losing my train of thought. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna have to paint, but let's recompose here and glue this piece of photo etch in place, and it's kind of curved. I'm gonna have to flatten it out, and then we should be able to set up and paint. Now I haven't decided yet. Am I gonna spray paint, or am I gonna brush paint? And I know that the spraying will do a much better job. But it uses, I was going to say 10 times as much paint, but on small stuff like this, it might use, you might waste 100 times as much paint trying to paint something like this, because most of the mist goes right past it. Now I know Jason in his tutorials, he was showing how you can get in nice and close, and paint, spray paint really, really narrow, but it never seems to work for me. uh, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's recompose and glue that down, and then we'll just see how the day's going to go. Uh, Today's pizza day, so I did remember to take the pizza out of the freezer first thing this morning. In fact, I took it out about 3 hours ago. I've been up for a long time already. So it's thawed, and I'm going to have to try not. I'm going to try and hold off until at least noon. That's the plan. Okay, enough nervous laughter here. Let's recompose and get our little part glued down. Now, it had been my intent to dub in what the macro lens is seeing, and it would have been nice and bright and sharp and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, we are going to have to use what you see there on my monitor. And so I'm hoping to be able to digitally enlarge that and enhance it a little bit so that, well, it's not going to be the same thing, but it's going to be better than nothing. The nothing that we almost had. So I'll be explaining a little later why it is we're doing it this way. I kind of think probably some of you already know what happened. Okay, try and get that top surface as sharp as we can before we stop it down. Alrighty. That'll increase the depth of field, as you should see, but then the ISO really cranks. Do I want that? Let's see, how does that look? That's not too pixelated, I guess. If I could back it off just a little bit here. Okay, now we're just sort of doing a dry run here. And okay, I think that's going to work. I think that what we're going to want to do is maybe just put a little bit of CA on the one part here. I think I could maybe set that there, and then it'll be in place. Or am I going to end up dropping it? We'll try it and see what happens. Now, if I put just a little bit of CA on one end and then hold on to the other end of the photo etch piece, I shouldn't glue it to my tweezer. Just a tiny little bit here. Okay. Now remember, we don't have all day. No, don't bump the other end now, Ron. Don't bump the other end. That's not a very good grasp, is it? Now we're going to want to just drop it down in the right place, because it's probably going to want to glue almost right away. Okay, I'm looking more or less straight down on it. It looks pretty good. I think once that cures, could maybe go to the left about 1/10 of a millimeter or less, but I'm just going to leave well enough alone here. Usually what happens is when I try to fix something like that, I just make it worse. Okay, I think now there's nothing else to do except paint. You know what I just realized? I forgot to press record on this camera. So I didn't get it. I hope you were able to see the screen. I'm not going to reshoot this. I've been doing that a lot lately. Getting kind of worried about myself.
I didn't let her off leash because there was a rabbit on your driveway. The temptation might have been too great.
A rabbit.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Okay, you gonna come on in? You gonna let me sit down first? Do I get to sit down first?
Barely.
Barely, yes. Okay, I know you can hardly wait.
Oh. 5 degrees out there.
I know.
Really cool.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I had my furnace running this morning for a little bit.
Me too. It's that time of year. I had my air conditioner on for a little bit last night.
Yeah,
This was so humid.
I did that the night before last. Yeah, it was. It's that time of year. You get air conditioner and heat. I mean, only in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, twice today, I was talking to my camera, and I didn't have the record pressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting worried about myself.
Well, if that's the worst problem you ever have, you'll be doing very, very well, Ron.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is it time to see Mommy have some breakfast? I guess so. I'm standing by the door for a reason. Missy House? Ron, thank you.
Okay, we'll see you later.
See you a little later.
Yeah. Okay, Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Alrighty. Let's see if we can remember to be pressing record for the rest of the day. Yeah, I mentioned to Max I did it twice. Well, the first time I did it was my opening scene. Talked to the camera for about 5 minutes for nothing. Okay. That's life. Now I think it's time to give myself some fresh isopropyl. There's a lot of sludge in the bottom of this. This goes back, I think, to the Bismarck. Okay. Now, my plan here is to take the part. May as well start with the most difficult ones, which would be the ones that we were just working on, and pull them out of this one and stick them down in one of these. That's the plan, and just methodically go through them. Yeah. Okay, you saw that coming, right? Let the fun begin. And I think what I'm going to do is the tiniest one first. Okay, I think there is a dozen of these altogether. And if you've seen me paint one, I guess you've seen me paint the other 11 as well. Now, this rod, if you remember, is going to be blue, so we don't need to paint that. I don't need to paint underneath here where this positioning peg is. It could be that these springs could have been a different color, but I think I'm just going to go ahead now and do the other 11 off camera, and yeah, see what happens here. Probably see you back here in about, well, I'm guessing 11 minutes. Could probably take about a minute to do each one. Okay. I think it'll be okay. You're going to notice that once this dries, the paint is going to shrink wrap around, and you're going to see the detail quite well. I know it looks like I really put it on thick in some of these things, but and I did too. But I think it's going to be okay. Not as good as spraying, but I'm having a lot more fun, to be honest with you. And that's what this is all about. Okay, it is 22.8 Celsius. That's quite a bit warmer than yesterday. It's about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. So it's going to be kind of nice when I get out this afternoon for my quick scoot. All being well. Okay, we got our paintbrush cleaned up. Our little parts are drying from their first coat, and for the most part, they're only going to get one coat. But I do have to go over most of them again and paint where the, at least on some of them. Well, not these rocker arms. They don't have to be painted. But some of the others where the alligator clip and what have you held onto it, I got to paint there. And I was noticing that one other part, actually there was this one right here that I had forgot to paint on camera. And I noticed I missed a little place where I should have painted, but I'll get that when I do the rest of them. So we got it, I would say 98% good. So yeah, I'm going to call her quits here for this afternoon. I'm basically happy with the way it went. I think once it dries and we move in and take a nice close look tomorrow, we'll be happy with it. At least that's the plan. Now I don't want to forget to put the link to where you can quickly go and see that light on the end of the engine by the telegraph on the real boat. I'm going to try and remember that is. Oh, and I want to check and see if we had any kind of a sunrise this morning. And yes, we did have an acceptable sunrise this morning. It was actually quite nice, it turns out. Now, I did not see the walkers. Now, that does not mean they did not come by. It just means that I didn't see them when I was looking. Yeah, but at least we got the sunrise. Maybe we'll see the walkers tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm going to call her quits here for this afternoon. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.